Preservation going into Dragonflight, I think, is in a really amazing place. It's got the damage, it's got the heals, and with a group that knows what they're doing and can kick and CC and use their defensives properly, the amount of tenacity, the amount of sheer healing you will get out of Preservation is mind-blowing. But it's very bad at spot healing. And because of that, pugs and groups that need to be carried are going to be a little trickier. Let me explain. So I'm a Mistweaver main, and I'm going to be switching to Preservation. I still plan on playing Mistweaver, and I'll talk all about that in another video. Mistweaver is very reaction heavy. You have ways to instantly cast heals, heal people by punching and kicking, and some big 3 minutes that allow you to ramp an unbelievable amount of healing, or instantly dispel everyone and heal. So when crap hits the fan, Mistweaver can very easily just snap their fingers and boom, the raid's healed. And they can react very quickly, and I love that. Preservation kind of reminds me of Scholar in Final Fantasy XIV, and if you don't play 14, bear with me, but Scholar has a 3 GCD shield. You force a crit, you shield yourself with a massive shield, and then you give that massive shield to everyone with deployment tactics. It's super cool, but that was 3 GCDs, and you don't have to play 14 to know that that's a century in an MMO. You're not really going to be reacting to a raid-wide damage with something like that. You're going to be doing it to prevent it, and that's how Preservation feels. You do a lot of setup, throwing out temporal anomalies, getting echo on people, sending out HOTS, and getting everyone sitting pretty so that when the damage starts coming, they're already healing and you can quickly get them back. Now, your spot healing, you have one really nice ability. Hi, Editor Bowser here, just letting you know, every time I say recursion, I mean reversion. I don't know what got into me. Anyway, continue. It's recursion as a talent that makes it so that 15% of recently taken damage gets healed back immediately. And that's great, but it only works like once per instance of damage. So somebody gets chunked for a massive portion of their life bar and then you recursion them, that's it. You've cashed in the heal for that, which is unfortunate because it's only a decent HOT. It's good, you're going to use it, but it's not like, it's nothing insane. You're not a resto druid. In order to make that HOT worth a damn, you need to have echo, but echo is going to require you either casting echo or throwing a temporal anomaly and having it pulse. That's a whole lot of setup. So you can't quickly turn that into a great heal. You can just use it as a quick heal and hope the HOT does its job and the person stays out of harm's way. And then of course you have things like rewind and stasis, where if you've set up a big stasis, you can immediately release it. Or, you know, if you have 2 rewind charges, turning it from a 4-minute to a 2-minute, you might have the ability to instantly get that party back up to a decent health bar. But the problem is 2 charges on a 4-minute cooldown, while it is an effective 2 minutes, it's still a really long cooldown, especially if used in rapid succession. Furthermore, stasis still requires you setting it up. There's no getting away from that factor. The only other, like, when I say issue, thing that looks strugglesome about Preservation is the lack of a stun. Sure, there's that talent that makes Deep Breath stun, but like that's not a reliable, that's not leg sweep. You have a knock up and a knockback, and yes, those will cancel some channels, they don't cancel everything, and that's it. You have a root. It's really fun to cast root, but it is just a root. But if you look past that, what can Preservation do? What makes it stand out so well? The damage is front loaded. You can just drop a flame breath on a group, tip the scales flame breath to instantly max it out, or just take your time and charge it up so that you can use that wonderful talent that makes your living flame hit more targets based on the level you got your flame breath to. So you just blast the group. Now they're all taking AoE damage, a small dot or a decent sized dot with a lot of frontal damage. You living flame, you hit all the targets in the room for a ton of damage. And then you can go back to just healing while your flame breath starts the heals, because it's a talent for that as well. That's incredible. And that's just the tip of the iceberg for me. Deep breathing a whole pack is a wonderful feeling. I would do that every day of my life if you gave me the ability to fly around like a dragon IRL. All the blossoming and breath heals are so much fun to get on top of people, and that ramp feels good. Like when you know you've smothered the dungeon in heals, you know you can keep it going, and it's very fun to kind of arrange that. But I also like that Azure Strike can strike 3 targets with a talent, and you can use it to run around and attack. so you can stay mobile. It's weird. I don't feel like ranged half the time when I'm playing Dragon. I feel like I play wherever the hell I want, and it's awesome. And all of this is before we get to level 70 talent points and we can do more. Look at this clip of me in a Tazavesh 10 on Tyrannical as my whole party dies, and I'm able to save this run from timing out. Because if you have the prep work, and if you have the cooldowns, and if you stagger things correctly, you can clutch out of streets. Now, this isn't the hardest hitting boss in the world, I'm aware, but I'm pretty sure if this wasn't a 12, I might have died. This was really challenging. It was also really cool I'm really proud of this. I was panicking. There's some things I could have done better here, but my team didn't know how to dodge the circle on the ground. Anyway, I think they might legitimately been coming back and didn't know the dungeon super well yet, but I was able to clutch it for them. And because I knew the setup, because I got to do things like throw temporal anomaly into a wall and constantly get the shields, there's so much here to have fun with. If this is the beginning, I'm so excited. I have two other things I really want to point out. One of which is when I get more talent points, I plan to grab these two talents. Mostly this bottom one here that allows Emerald Blossom to bloom again, 30% chance. That is so much free healing. It is incredible. I'm so stoked about that because it's going to allow you to essentially continue rapidly healing the front lines if you're lucky, and you might be able to focus on other people in other spots. You can literally throw an Emerald Blossom at someone and forget about it, and sometimes it does more work than you ever could have expected, and it helps you clean up your heals. And then sometimes you fire and forget, and you can go on, do your damage, and it'll get the job done for you. I think that's really strong. And I'm really not sure what I'm doing on the Evoker side of things. I will test it out, of course. Day 1 is upon us tonight, so I will be already experimenting by the time this video is live. Actually, no. I'll be experimenting probably after you've watched this video, but regardless, it's looking incredible. So you got to let me know, what are you doing with Evoker? Are you playing Preservation or Devastation? And where are you going to throw those stat points? And if you're just a fellow listener or healer, I got to know what you're excited about with your classes. This is going to be such a good expansion. I can feel it. I hope my first impressions are right and I get to enjoy myself. But this is the first video on the channel, so if you liked it, hit subscribe. It'd mean the world to me. Leave a comment and I'll try to get back to all of you. Take care, friends. I'll see you soon.